I want to get into leadership, or was it something that just kind of happened?
I viewed myself as more of to take on their workload than help them get better at doing their own workload.
You got to be good at technology. You got to be good at relationships. You got to be good at knowing when you're wasting your time.
I'm helping them be more successful in their role.
If you take the time to do that, then you have saved so much time in the long run, right?
They want their people to be successful. They almost can contribute to them getting stuck.
Your goal is my goal. And if you don't understand why your people come to work, you can't motivate them. Hey, this is Tom at Sales Made Easy. I'm here with Mary Kobe, Vice President at TD Industries. Very big in, well, not just Texas, right? You're in Arizona, and where else?
Yeah, we've got a footprint in Colorado, and we kind of venture out sometimes for larger projects. So we like to say the Southwest.
The Southwest, right?
Southwest, yep.
So Mary, tell us a little bit about your journey. And was you always going, hey, I want to get into leadership, or was it something that just kind of happened?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'll never forget when I started at TD and, got a job out of school, was excited to do anything, but it was, in sales. And for me, I just thought, I'm not a salesperson. Like this, I'll try it out. We'll see what happens. And, 12 years later, I'm still in sales. So it's been interesting, but it was, what I liked about that is since I didn't know sales, or I didn't really have that laid out for me, I was just kind of a sponge. So I was open to anything and stuff like that. So I was exposed to Sandler early, which was, such a blessing. You got to kind of, at least if I knew nothing, it gave me a process to follow and something to try versus just winging it every time. I feel like I've kind of got to a mastery level of this. I want to help other people get to a mastery level and kind of hone in their skills. And so it definitely took a couple attempts to convince my leadership team that I was ready for leadership. So encouragement for anyone that has maybe applied for a sales leadership role and didn't get it out the gate. I was there.
I think it's interesting you said, hey, I wasn't going to be in sales. I was just, they gave me this job. But, it's interesting in today's world when you're trying to hire people. I think a lot of people are looking for, are you a salesperson? Have you done it for 10 years or 5 years, whatever? It's not the old type salesperson anymore. You got to be good at technology. You got to be good at relationships. You got to be good at knowing when you're wasting your time.
And it's interesting when we're recruiting and looking for salespeople is we almost have to think about when you're getting a 5 to 10 year seasoned salesperson is that there's a likelihood we're going to have to unprogram them of the way they currently know how to sell because it's evolved in the last 2 to 5 years. And so it's almost something we think about of, that kind of person is typically experienced success. And so they don't bucket in their mind, oh, I need help to sell better. And so you got to kind of help them see, hey, there's new ways and stuff. And so it's often a little bit harder versus someone that maybe doesn't know and they're open to, you tell me how to do it and I'll give it a try,
Well, and I like that idea because, you think about it, the unprogramming. I think a lot of companies don't understand this. You and I have worked on a sales methodology and a sales process for TD. And if you don't do that unprogramming, they bring in that, well, this is the way I've always done it, that timeline, then you just keep doing it and you don't realize you're wasting your time. Right? Mm-hmm. You don't realize it's not a good customer at this point in time in their life. It doesn't mean forget about it. We're just right at this point, they're not right for you.
Yep. And I also think, leading this sales manager team is you have to have that stuff for your sales manager because they're what I find, at least at TD, they're so for their people. They want their people to be successful. They almost can contribute to them getting stuck we can get it. We just got to muscle through this to get to the next step. First, if they could step back and go, I have this tool that tells me, or I know that you're here too long. And so we're stuck, or this is not going to convert, or this isn't whatever. And so it helps get, because I think it's a natural desire of a sales manager for their team to be successful. I'm here to help you and get you through this sales process versus one that can say, hey, let's evaluate. Are we at the right spot? Is this the right client? Do they have the pain we need? And so I've seen where it helps our sales managers hold accountability and get their team moving faster by saying, hey, I think we're not there with this client. So
Yeah, it's much easier to be a sales manager, a sales coach when you have a process. And
Totally.
you know, just try to make activity happen for activity to happen. You know, keep that momentum running in your head as to what are your values that you bring to the table on a daily basis. Because, as you said, too often we get beat up and we don't remember.
Totally. Totally. And you got to think as a sales manager, you got to be tuned into that of who's really going to struggle with that and know what indicators are going to tell you they're starting to spiral, right? Who really cares about the quota? Who's got their vision board and they're not hitting it and all those things, and know when it's starting to happen and get ahead of it with them so that they don't, spiral for a month and get really behind, so.
Yeah, and I like you brought up vision boards, right? Vision boards are so important that if you don't have a picture of where you're going, you're in trouble, right?
Yeah, and I'd say, those things are so tested in the trying times, and you really get to get that measuring stick out and say, are we living by core values, and do we have the right motivators for our teams? We turned on a new software system that runs really our entire company a couple of years ago, and it was hard. And we had to ask salespeople to slow down selling, which cost them money to go, hey, we need you to go focus on collections. We need you to focus on billings. We need you to focus on these things. And so we didn't have that nucleus, those core values, and us all feel like, hey, we're all pulling on the same rope. It could have ended a lot worse and gone a lot worse than it did. So it's those trying times that you got to really reflect and go, we're all here. We're all driving this direction. It may not look like it all the time, and we got to keep moving this way. So.
Yeah, yeah. So what's your vision? Where are you going from here?
Oh, man. Well, so my role's changing. So I'm doing a little bit more operations type work, which has been interesting and fun. And I'm learning a lot. And really, as we talk about all these, Sandler tools that we deploy with our sales teams, I'm realizing, man, IR applies to the operations team. The vision boards, what's important to our people applies there. And so, I'm definitely excited for that next chapter and to kind of learn some different facets of the business and whatnot. But it's great that so many of the things we learn.
Somebody was listening to this and wanted to inquire about joining TD. How would they do that? Is there a recruiting website or something?
There is. Yeah. So our website's a great place to start and learn about us. So tdindustries.com. Like Tom mentioned, I'd go check out our core values, check out what all the kind of work we do, where we are. And then you can navigate over to the careers page. We are always looking for salespeople. We're always looking for really people that fit our core values, and we'll pitch you in wherever we can. Like you mentioned, internships are big for us. So definitely go take a look and see what's out there. We'd love to talk to you.
There you go. Yeah. So, hey, we spent some time with Mary Kobe today, TD Industries Vice President. And so a couple things she brought to the table is you got to have a process, right? Life as a salesperson is easier with a process as a sales manager. Then she also brought up about unprogramming when you're hiring new people. Do they really fit you, or do you have to reprogram to your methodology and your process? And I love the couple others. You got to slow down to speed up, Mary. That's a great one. Is too often we're just going so fast, and we really got to slow it down and go, hey, are you growing your people, or are you just trying to close business for them?
Right.
And then lastly is just, hey, protect. Get into the salesperson's IR. Is their identity? Are you, as a sales coach, sales manager, really helping them grow in their self-worth and self-confidence?
Yeah.
So I really appreciate your time today. Hey, everyone, reach out to Mary Kobe if you're interested in looking at a job. And thanks for your time. And once again, this is Tom at Sales Made Easy. So we'll see you everybody next week on our next show. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Mary.
Thanks, Tom.